Welcome to the Predictive Playbook. I'm your host, John Ryan, and I am pleased to have Don Buster and Jesse Schule. Most of you who are watching this show already know who they are. For those that don't, you're in luck because you're going to get some great intelligence, great sports betting information that you can use to be a better bettor. And we're not going to waste any time here. I'm going to get right to it in the NFL, and this game I like quite a bit. Last week we saw the Rams pretty much destroy the Chicago Bears in a 34-14 win. I had a 5% win on the over there, so that was fortunate, I think. But a win is a win. And I think what we have here is recency bias is creating a situation where the Colts lost last week, didn't look so hot. Rams looked like they're a Super Bowl contender for sure, and we're getting the benefit of the line and the market being adjusted. So there's tremendous value, in my opinion, with the Colts. And here's a system that supports that. We're going to play on underdogs, including Pick'em, that averaged 275 yards of passing per game last season. And it's coming off a game where the defense was just not getting it done, allowing 7 or more yards per pass attempt. This has gone an amazing 15-2-1 against the number for 88.2%. Winning bets over just the last 5 seasons. And then here's something from my predictive models that I think is pretty cool. The Colts are 9-3 against the spread, 7-5 straight up as a home dog when they gained 4.5 or more yards per rush and had fewer turnovers than the opponent. So we're looking for 2 things here to go our way in that first half and for the whole game, that we want to see the Colts gaining 4.5 or more yards, and we want to see them not turning the ball over. 0 turnovers would be awesome. So the bet is a 3% bet on the Colts, and you can sprinkle a little bit on the money line. So that's my pick, and now we're going to move over to Buster, who has the game he has is what game you ought to get, Buster? I'm sorry.
Miami Buffalo, John. That's all
Yes.
right.
Miami Buffalo. So we have the Bills 0-1 getting upset by Pittsburgh. The Dolphins took care of business in New England. Kind of a shocking win there, in my opinion, at least. Now, Buffalo's won 5 straight games versus Miami. They've scored 30-plus points in each one of them. So is this an opportunity to get on the Dolphins, Buster?
Well, like you say, Buffalo has owned Miami these last 5 games, but I am going to take the home dog here with Miami getting the points. Although New England, actually outplayed Miami and arguably could have probably won that game, Miami comes home now pretty confident with that nice win in Foxborough because it's a place that they have struggled all the time, of course. Like the fact that Tua managed the game the way he did. He threw 1 interception, but again, as long as he can play clean football, they have a chance against this Bills club because what's happening this week as well, Tua will have another offensive weapon in his arsenal. He gets Will Fuller back, and I believe that's going to be a huge asset to the Miami offense because now for a fact that Tua will take a couple shots downfield against the Bills defense. But the Bills defense is, of course, going to be another top 5 defense this year. But it'll be interesting to see if Fuller can get behind those guys and see if they had any big plays there. As far as the Bills, really ugly loss against Pittsburgh there. They end up having that block punt, and it was just, again, they just played a terrible second half. Josh Allen, like I said, he's owned the Dolphins, but he got paid this year. So, and he didn't look too good. He missed a lot of guys, like 30 for 51. That's not good for a guy that had a great year last year. So we like the fact that we're getting points here. It might take Allen a little time to get going here after signing that big contract. It's amazing, guys, how that happens with guys that sign a big contract, where all of a sudden they just, they kind of don't show up for the first 2 months of the season. So in any sport. But anyways, we're going to go with Miami plus 3.5 here. Last year, they held them to 31-28 at home. So that was their closest game. And we like Miami here.
I do too. So there's a second pick on this show, and our third and final guest is Jesse Schule, who's going to talk about the Saints are playing the Panthers. Both teams are 1-0 here, off to I guess you can call that a good start. New Orleans has won 4 straight games versus Carolina. And Jameis Winston, I guess, looked pretty good last week, and Aaron Rodgers looked like, I don't know, like he was in a coma. But anyway, Jesse, what do you think of this game, and where's the place to put the money?
Well, one of the things we talk about heading into week 2 is how to avoid falling victim to recency bias. And perhaps the Saints and the Packers were the biggest example of where we could find some recency bias, with the Saints winning big as an underdog and Jameis Winston throwing for 5 touchdown passes. And of course, the Packers looking about as bad as you could possibly imagine. So for this game coming up with New Orleans on the road in Carolina, I'm looking at Jameis Winston to regress a little bit. We all know that famous Jameis is most famous for his interceptions. His last year in Tampa, he threw 30 picks. And he's since had laser eye surgery, and some people speculate that that's going to correct the problem. But I will point out that famous Jameis is also famous for making poor decisions. And, of course, poor decisions lead to interceptions. And if we look at his past history of poor decisions, we've got a couple sexual assault allegations. We've got some stolen crab legs. And, of course, while he was dealing with the sexual assault allegations at Florida State, he stood on a table in a lunchroom and said some awfully profane things that I won't be able to say on television, and ended up getting suspended for that. So he heads into Carolina, where he has a history with the Panthers. 2 games in 2019. He threw 5 picks in those 2 games against the Panthers. So, I'm looking at Jameis Winston to throw an interception, minus 150 at Bet365. I also like Alvin Kamara to go over his rushing yards total. That's 65.5 yards, minus 115. Interestingly, in the game versus Green Bay, the Saints ran the ball 39 times. Jameis Winston only attempted 20 passes. So Kamara is going to get his workload and should get over 65.5 yards. So that's how I see that playing out.
Oh, I love it. Guys, that was 3 great picks, I think. Colts plus the points. We have the Dolphins plus the points. Sprinkle a little bit on both of those, I would think. And then we have the 2 prop bets that Jameis will throw at least 1 interception. And I do believe that it'll be definitely more than 1. That could be a winning bet in the first quarter. And over rushing yards with Kamara, which makes total sense. And those two definitely fit together. So, guys, thanks for your time. And we look forward to seeing you later today at Manny's Pub at 4 o'clock Eastern Standard Time for another fun episode. So for Don, Buster, Jesse Schule, myself, the Predictive Playbook, Sportsmemo.com, and WagerTalk.com, may all the wins be yours.